Welcome back, garden lovers! If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm thrilled you stopped by. Today we're diving into one of my absolute favorite topics. Beautiful, affordable trees that look far more luxurious than their price tags suggest. Trees are the backbone of any landscape. They define structure, add shade, and bring elegance that no flower bed can match. But here's the secret. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars to achieve that lush, high-end look. With the right choices and a little patience, you can create a garden that feels like a private botanical retreat, even on a budget. So grab a coffee or tea, get comfy, and let's explore 7 stunning, budget-friendly trees that look like they belong in a designer garden but can actually cost less than a nice dinner out. Wyasa's Japanese maple, Acer palmatum. Let's start with a true showstopper, the Japanese maple, often considered the crown jewel of elegant landscapes. When you picture serene, luxurious gardens, Japanese maples are almost always there, with their delicate, hand-shaped leaves and artistic branching. These trees have a sculptural quality that makes them look expensive even when they're small. Here's the surprise. Young Japanese maple saplings are often sold for under $40, and with a few years of growth, they'll become the centerpiece of your yard. Their magic lies in their color-changing foliage. From tender green or crimson in spring to deep summer hues to fiery red and gold in autumn. It's like watching a living painting evolve through the seasons. Planting tips. They prefer partial shade and well-draining, slightly acidic soil. Protect them from strong winds and harsh afternoon sun. Care advice. Minimal pruning is best. Their natural shape is stunning. Water regularly during hot weather, especially while young. Once settled, they're hardy and low maintenance. If you want instant sophistication without overspending, the Japanese maple delivers timeless beauty on a budget. 2. Crepe myrtle, Lagerströmia. Next up is the crepe myrtle, a bold, sun-loving tree that brings months of breathtaking blooms. Walk through any southern neighborhood in midsummer, and you'll see streets lined with vibrant crepe myrtles, bursting with pink, purple, or white blossoms that seem to glow in the heat. What makes them special? They bloom for nearly 3 months, long after other trees have finished, plus their smooth, mottled bark adds texture and interest even in winter. And the best part? You can find young crepe myrtles for $25–30, and they grow fast. Planting tips: give them full sun, at least 6 hours a day, and well-drained soil. They thrive on warmth and even tolerate drought once established. Care advice? Avoid the common mistake of crepe murder, cutting them back too harshly. A light trim in late winter keeps their shape without stunting growth. Crepe myrtles bring long-lasting color, stately form, and year-round charm, all while being incredibly affordable. 3. Birch trees, Betula. Few trees can transform a space like the birch. With their white, papery bark and whispering leaves, they add light, texture, and grace to any landscape. Even on cloudy days, their silvery trunks seem to glow, giving your yard that designer landscape architect feel. Effortlessly elegant. And here's the great news. Birch trees are remarkably inexpensive. Bare root saplings can cost as little as $15 or $20, and even potted varieties remain affordable. Why they look high-end? Their bark contrasts beautifully with greenery. Their leaves shimmer in the breeze, and their slender shape adds movement and softness to your garden. Planting tips. Birches love cool, moist soil but need plenty of sunlight. Keep their roots shaded. Mulch or ground cover works perfectly. Care advice. Water consistently while they establish roots. Once mature, they require minimal pruning and live beautifully for decades. Whether you plant one as a focal point or several in a graceful cluster, birches bring elegance and tranquility to your garden at a fraction of the cost. 4. Dogwood trees, Cornus, Florida. Few trees capture timeless elegance quite like the dogwood. Each spring, these trees burst into breathtaking clouds of white or blush pink blossoms, transforming any yard into a scene straight out of a royal garden. Their beauty doesn't stop there. Once the spring display fades, dogwoods keep their rich green leaves through summer, then shift to striking tones of red and purple in the fall. Some varieties even produce small clusters of vivid red berries that attract songbirds, adding movement and life to your garden. Despite looking like a tree that belongs in a luxury landscape, Dogwoods are surprisingly budget-friendly. Most nurseries sell young dogwoods for around $30 to $40. They grow at a comfortable pace and don't need a large yard, making them ideal for both small and medium spaces. Why they look expensive? Dogwoods offer year-round visual appeal. In spring, they bloom in clouds of color. In summer, their foliage stays lush and full. Come fall, the leaves glow in warm, jewel-like tones. And even in winter, their elegant branch structure adds beauty to bare gardens. That kind of consistent charm is usually associated with expensive landscaping, yet you can achieve it for very little. Planting tips: dogwoods thrive best in partial shade, though they can handle full sun if you keep their roots well watered. They prefer rich, well-drained soil and appreciate a layer of mulch to maintain moisture and protect their roots from heat. Care advice: pruning is minimal. A light trim every few years will keep their graceful form. Just make sure the soil doesn't dry out too often. Dogwoods enjoy steady, moderate moisture. Whether you plant one near your front entrance or as a centerpiece in your backyard, a dogwood instantly elevates your landscape, giving it a refined, high-end look without the high-end cost. 5. Redbud tree, Cercis canadensis. If there's one tree that feels like pure spring magic, it's the redbud. Imagine this. Before any leaves appear, the bare branches suddenly erupt in thousands of pink or magenta blossoms. The flowers even bloom directly on the branches and trunk, making the whole tree shimmer with color. It's the kind of sight that stops people in their tracks. Once the flowers fade, soft, heart-shaped leaves take their place, giving the redbud a romantic, almost storybook look through summer. Then autumn arrives, and those same leaves turn brilliant shades of golden yellow, closing the year with a final burst of color. Why it looks expensive? The redbud looks like a designer tree, something straight out of a botanical garden or a high-end landscape project. Its unique blooming habit and heart-shaped foliage create an instantly sophisticated look. Yet small redbuds usually sell for just $20 to $40, making them an affordable way to add elegance and charm to your garden. Planting tips: redbuds are wonderfully adaptable. They thrive in full sun or partial shade and tolerate a variety of soil types, as long as the soil drains well. They don't like to sit in water, so avoid soggy spots. Care advice: water young redbuds regularly until they establish a strong root system. After that, they're surprisingly drought tolerant and require little maintenance. Occasional light pruning will help shape the tree, but otherwise they're low effort and dependable. Plant one near a patio, walkway, or garden bench, somewhere it can catch the eye. And when spring comes, your yard will look like something from a fairy tale, glowing with thousands of blossoms for a fraction of the price of most ornamental trees. 6. Hawthorn, Crataegus. The hawthorn is one of the most underappreciated trees you'll find in garden centers, and yet it's one of the most rewarding to grow. This small to medium tree bursts into clouds of white or pink flowers in spring, releasing a delicate, sweet scent that fills the air. During summer, it's covered in dense, rich green foliage, creating a perfect backdrop for any garden. Then, as autumn sets in, it transforms again. Bright red berries appear, inviting flocks of birds and adding vibrant pops of color. Why it looks expensive? Hawthorn trees bring a full cycle of visual interest. Blossoms, greenery, and berries, all in one plant. Their seasonal transformation gives the impression of a carefully curated luxury garden, even though they're one of the most affordable ornamental trees you can buy. Bare root hawthorns can cost as little as $10 to $15, which is remarkably cheap considering their year-round appeal. Planting tips: hawthorns thrive in full sunlight and prefer well-drained soil. They're hardy and resilient, easily tolerating drought, wind, and even cold winters, which makes them perfect for new gardeners or anyone looking for low-maintenance beauty. Care advice: prune lightly after flowering to maintain their natural, rounded shape. Beyond that, hawthorns ask for very little. They're tough, dependable trees that grow gracefully on their own and reward you with layers of color and life year after year. 7. Serviceberry, Amelanchier. The serviceberry is one of gardening's best-kept secrets, a tree that delivers elegance, color, and even edible fruit without demanding much care. In early spring, it's among the first to bloom, bursting into clusters of soft white flowers that brighten up your yard before most trees even wake up. By early summer, those blossoms transform into small blueberry-like fruits, sweet, juicy, and completely edible. Birds love them, but so will you. They're perfect for pies, jams, or just snacking straight from the branch. As autumn approaches, the serviceberry puts on one final show, turning its leaves brilliant shades of red, orange, and gold. Even in winter, the silvery bark adds quiet beauty to a sleeping garden. Why it looks expensive? The serviceberry gives your yard a full 4-season experience. Spring blooms, summer fruit, autumn color, and winter elegance. That kind of year-round visual richness is what most people associate with professional landscaping, but you can have it for less than $30 if you buy a young tree. Planting tips. Serviceberries thrive in full sun to partial shade and prefer moist, well-drained soil. They're adaptable enough to grow in both city gardens and countryside yards, making them a versatile choice for nearly any location. Care advice. Keep young serviceberries well watered during their first growing season to help them establish deep roots. Once mature, they're tough, low-maintenance trees that reward you with both beauty and bounty. A serviceberry planted near a window, patio, or path brings constant life and color throughout the year. It's the kind of tree that quietly transforms your garden. Elegant, ever-changing, and affordable enough that you'll wish you planted more than one. 8. Star Magnolia, Magnolia stellata. When most people picture a magnolia, they think of grand, stately trees with enormous white blossoms, the kind that seem like they belong in luxury estates. And while some magnolia species do come with a high price tag, the star magnolia gives you all that beauty and sophistication for far less. This variety stays smaller and compact, making it ideal for modest gardens or small yards. In early spring, before any leaves even appear, the star magnolia bursts into a dazzling display of white or soft pink star-shaped flowers. The effect is simply breathtaking, like a professional landscape designer worked their magic in your backyard. Why it looks expensive? The blossoms are large, fragrant, and eye-catching. Their elegant form and rich fragrance give your space a high-end look. Yet young star magnolias typically cost less than $40. Planting tips. Choose a sunny or partially shaded area with fertile, well-drained soil. They do best in sheltered spots, away from harsh winds that can damage their delicate flowers. Care advice. These trees are very low maintenance. Pruning isn't necessary except to remove dead or damaged branches. Water them regularly during summer, especially when they're still getting established, and enjoy their graceful charm year after year. 9. Ornamental cherry, Prunus varieties. Few trees symbolize elegance and beauty as powerfully as a cherry blossom tree. In Japan, people celebrate Hanami, the annual tradition of admiring cherry blossoms, because these blooms represent grace, renewal, and the fleeting beauty of life. The best part? You don't need to live in Tokyo or Paris to bring that same beauty to your own garden. Why they look expensive? In spring, ornamental cherry trees explode into clouds of pink or white petals that transform any garden into a dreamlike scene. Even after the petals fall, the tree's smooth bark and graceful shape continue to add refinement and visual appeal. Despite their sophisticated appearance, small ornamental cherry trees can be purchased for as little as $30 to $40. Planting tips. Plant your cherry tree in full sun with well-drained soil. Choose a location where you'll see it often, near a patio, deck, or living room window, so you can enjoy its stunning blooms up close. Care advice. These trees need regular watering during dry periods, especially when young. Pruning is minimal, simply remove dead, damaged, or crossing branches. Avoid planting them too close to buildings or pathways, as their roots spread over time. 10. Linden, Tilia. If you're looking for a tree that adds not only visual elegance but also a magical summer atmosphere, the linden, also known as basswood, is an exceptional choice. With its soft, heart-shaped leaves and lush canopy, it offers excellent shade and a soothing sense of calm. But the real charm of the linden arrives in early summer, when it blooms with clusters of small, pale yellow flowers that release one of the sweetest fragrances in nature. The scent is so enchanting that linden honey is prized around the world for its floral, delicate flavor. Imagine stepping into your yard on a warm evening, surrounded by the gentle perfume of linden blossoms. It feels like luxury in its purest form. Why it looks expensive? Lindens grow into elegant, symmetrical trees reminiscent of those lining the boulevards of Paris or Vienna. Their stately form gives any home an upscale, landscaped look. Yet surprisingly, young linden saplings often cost just $20 to $30. Planting tips: lindens thrive in full sun and nutrient-rich, well-drained soil. Give them plenty of room to grow. They can reach impressive sizes over time. Care advice: water young trees regularly, especially during dry spells, to help them establish deep roots. Once mature, they're hardy, resilient, and require very little attention. Their beauty and shade will reward you for decades. How to find cheap trees that look expensive. Now that we've gone through 10 trees that can transform your garden without breaking the bank, here's how to actually find them affordably. 1. Local nurseries and garden centers. While big box stores carry common varieties, smaller local nurseries often have better prices on young trees and more knowledgeable staff. Ask if they sell bare root trees in early spring. These are much cheaper than potted ones and establish quickly once planted. 2. Community tree programs. Many cities and towns offer free or discounted trees as part of environmental or greening projects. Check with your local council or environmental organizations. It's one of the best ways to beautify your yard on a budget. 3. Online suppliers. Buying trees online might sound unusual, but many reputable nurseries now ship healthy young trees at low cost. These smaller trees grow fast once planted, and you'll often find rare or ornamental species not available locally. 4. Seasonal sales. At the end of summer, nurseries often hold major clearance events to clear inventory before fall. A tree that sells for $50 in spring might be marked down to $20 or even less in late August.